Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We are here in Amsterdam for the World Series finals, and we've stumbled across Mr. Citera from the CDC. He was kindly minding his own business, and I've dragged him in here. First of all, Pete, how are you?
I'm wonderful, and to be fair, I'm large enough you can definitely stumble across me.
The dust is all settled now. Madison Square Garden, we waited 2 years for it to happen. It finally happened, and what a success. First of all, how did you take it all in, and what was your initial thoughts on the whole night or weekend?
So the initial thought, it was such a whirlwind, right? So I didn't get really a chance other than to be there and to see everything as we were going through. You didn't get to appreciate it, right? So I took a step back afterwards. We've talked about it, we've analyzed it. It was a fantastic event from top to bottom. If you weren't there, you missed out on history. And so I know there's a lot of buzz in the community that we need to get people there, and I know people are going to come this year. I think we'll sell it out all sessions. I hope we do. And so it just absolutely over the moon about the way that turned out.
Huge upturn in local supporting it compared to when it was in Vegas, when there was a lot of expats or holidaymakers just went to watch it. That must have pleased you that the locals got behind it.
It absolutely did. Vegas is Vegas. A lot of people that watch darts in America spend a lot of time in Las Vegas. Darts fans in the U.S. tend to be dart players, and there's a lot of darts in Las Vegas. So coming out for another event is just kind of like, I've been there, done it. Moving to the most famous arena in the world, it certainly drew, and there was a buzz, and people just loved it. It was the right move. There was a lot of people questioning it, quite honestly, because Vegas had always been the place. Matt Porter was very adamant this was the right move, and we supported it 100%, and it turned out right. Matt made a darn good call at the PDC.
Since then, with the CDC, have you noticed an upturn in people talking about the World Series in New York and the splash it had?
There definitely has been, especially, the darts press. We get a lot more press today than we did before in the darts media. There was that initial kind of press outside of the darts media. People took notice of it, and that's kind of receded a little bit. And to be candid, that's one of our challenges, is to get us more in the mainstream press. It's something we need to work on. But certainly, no doubt, look at the press we got here this weekend, and of course, rightfully so with the players we had. But there's no doubt about it that we've gotten more notice.
As well, did it help that the North American Championship before that final session as well, where beforehand it was kind of like an afterthought, the North American one when it was in Vegas, and it sort of like set up that complete day?
It really did. I was really happy with the amount of people that turned out for that. I was afraid that we would have what we had in Vegas, right? And you've just hit on it, Phil. That's the difference between the expats and the U.S. There was actually interest in that event, and it was a great event in the afternoon. I think it was certainly a showpiece that we can build on, and hopefully get even more people at that session next year.
You must have been so happy as well when it was announced that we would be going back in 2023, that one, Madison Square Garden wanted us back, and two, the PDC wanted to go back.
Yeah, after Sunday, it was really no big surprise, I don't think, to anybody. You felt the atmosphere in that room, Phil. It was the best room in North American darting history in terms of the atmosphere and the energy. You can't say no to that, right? Madison Square Garden was happy, like as you mentioned. The PDC was over the moon with the way it turned out. The flag has been planted in the ground, and now it's frankly on them and us to replicate that in other ways. The CDC is not going to hit that level in terms of fans, at least not in the short term. But certainly we now know exactly where we need to go, if that makes sense.
With the CDC, you must be over the moon. 3 players heading to Alexandra Palace. Leonard Gates, Danny Baggish, and David Cameron completed the lineup in a good weekend of darts.
It was a fantastic weekend of darts. I tell you, I get the front seat to watch the best of North America play, and you don't appreciate that in the moment. But I tried to take a step back and watch what unfolded last weekend, and it was special. There's no doubt about it. Dave Cameron, I think, we've seen it, right? He's won on the stage. I think he will make a name for himself at this tournament, and the other two, and certainly everybody's talking about Leonard, right? It's going to be a great event.
Guessing you're coming over then?
I wouldn't miss it for the world. I'll probably be over on the Tuesday before it starts, and I'll head home on the day before Christmas.
It says a lot where the CDC's come from and where it is now, because we're also talking about the players that haven't made it for a change. Normally, their last few years, it was a standout. There was 1 or 2 that we'd expect to get there, but now the list of players that hasn't got there, they're household names.
Yeah, the talent pool is deep, and that's the exciting part about it. Our averages for an event are getting north of 80, and that's saying something. You don't come into that room and have an easy draw. So not only are the North Americans not the quote-unquote easy draw here anymore, as we've seen, right? Also, even over there, top to bottom, anybody can come out and win some rounds, and the amount of people that are capable of winning an event is more than just a couple. Look out for Alex Spellman. He's a guy that's made a name for himself over the past couple of months, and I think he's going to be your next big name that's going to get a chance over here at some point.
Your season finale is on the horizon as well, the Continental Cup. How excited are you for that?
Well, the Continental Cup has always been a special event. Anthony Genia, my partner, kind of got it together. The original one kind of put the brainchild behind it all. And, it's the chance for the four of us, the four partners, to really showcase, what we can do. It sets up perfectly, right? We've got the tournament side, which is Anthony and my baby. We've got the production side, which is David Iree's baby. Jeff Good is there to support us in terms of everything. He participates in all of it. So it's a way for us all to really get a chance to show the world what we can do. And I think it's going to be a springboard to more ticketed events in the States and possibly in Canada at some point in the near future.
Last one from me. With all the talent pool that you've talked about, are you hoping for good numbers at Q School this year coming across to try their arm and try and get that golden ticket?
Not only trying their arm, I'm looking for good numbers to come through. Yeah, it's gonna. I think we'll see probably 6 to 10 come over, and it would not surprise me if we see 3 to 5 win through.
Just before you go, I've just thought of something else on that. You made the decision to close the CDC off for tour card holders next year, which has been talked about a lot within the darts fraternity on social media and everything. A brave decision, but you also got a lot of praise for it as well, to close those loopholes for tour card holders, not just in the CDC, in general, that are kind of abused at times.
It was a tough decision to make. I'm not going to lie on that one, and I can see both sides of the argument. Ultimately, the players who have tour cards have the way to come through. And not to say we don't want to see them. Obviously, we love them, right? They are a part of the organization as much as anyone else, but they have opportunities to qualify for the big stages that the others don't. And so we need to be able to get those next generation, right? We need to be able to have the pipeline. And if we have the top of the top that have the cards keep coming back, we may not be able to develop the pipeline that needs to be developed, if that makes sense.
Yes, 100%, Peter. Always appreciate your time, mate. Thank you very much, as always.
Thank you, Phil, as always.